Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
Good morning, students.
Morning, sir. Morning,
How are
sir.
you today?
I am fine, sir.
Okay, very good. So today we're going to continue our topic, and it will be about hortatory exposition. So before we start, let's recite Al-Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All right, so this is our topic today. Last week we were talking about analytical exposition, right? So today we talk about hortatory exposition. It's a bit similar, right? Because it is one of a kind of exposition text. Okay, before going further, I'd like to introduce you our objective or the purpose of learning. So the first is you will be able to identify the function, social function, and the language features of the text. And you will be able to understand the specific information presented in the text. And then you will be able to conclude the information described on the text. And then you will be able to create and write a hortatory exposition text. Right, okay, so those are the objective. Now we talk about the definition of hortatory exposition. Yeah. Well, this text belongs to argumentative text argument. Yeah, in Bahasa Indonesia text argument. So there are two exposition. There are two argument text. Yeah, hortatory and analytical exposition. Text exposisi, right? Text exposisi or exposition. There are two: analytical exposition and hortatory exposition. Okay, so this text is a type of a text that represents the author's attempt to influence the reader to do something or act in a particular way. So the writer try to influence, yeah. The writer try to influence the reader to do something or act in particular way or in a certain way. I hope you understand. Yeah, the writer give the reasons and arguments what you have to do, like he want you to do. Yeah. All right, that is hortatory exposition. Okay. Hortatory exposition text is the authors give some opinion about certain things to reinforce the main idea of the text. I think that would be similar, yeah. The point of the text is hortatory exposition is text which represent the attempt. The attempt is the effort, usaha, yeah, of the writer to have the addressee. The addressee means the reader or the listener to do something or act in a certain way. He influenced you that you should do that or you shouldn't do that. Okay. Okay. The purpose is to persuade. Yeah, something like to persuade the readers or listener that something should or should not be case or be done. Yeah. For example, like smoking. Yeah, smoking is dangerous for our health. Or having breakfast before going to work. Yeah, many people skip their breakfast. Now I'm trying to, in my opinion, that having breakfast is very important, right? Why is it very important? And I give you some arguments. So I want you to have a breakfast before you start working or before going to work or before going to school. And then I'll give you the arguments why or the reasons why is it very important to have breakfast. So the argument. And when I'm talking about that having breakfast is very important, it means I try to influence you to eat breakfast before you go to work or before you go to school. Yeah, you got it? Understand? You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once again, the purpose is to persuade, membujuk ya, persuade the reader or listener that something should or should not be case or be done. Ya, or in bahasa Indonesia ada membujuk pembaca atau pendengar bahwa sesuatu itu harus atau tidak harus. Ya, tidak harusnya begitu atau tidak harusnya dilakukan atau harus dilakukan. Ya, for example, like having breakfast before going to work. When I'm writing a text, having breakfast before going to work is very important. Then I'm telling you why is it why having breakfast is very important, and then I give some arguments. And the purpose of telling this text having breakfast is very important. I want you to have breakfast. I try to persuade you. I try to persuade you to have breakfast before you go to work or before you go to school. Jadi penulisnya itu ingin pembaca atau pendengarnya itu melakukan, penulis berusaha membujuk pembaca supaya melakukan apa yang writer penulis inginkan. Ya, ya, for example like having breakfast. Ya, kalau misalkan breakfast, ya saya ingin, I'm as the writer, I want you to have a breakfast before you go to work because it's very important. And there are some arguments there, and I give you some evidence and some proof. Why is it very important? Okay. Right, so this is a hortatory exposition. So the point is persuade, membujuk ya, persuade the reader or listener that something should or should not be the case or be done. Okay, here are the generic structure. The generic structure of hortatory exposition. Yeah, the previous one, analytical exposition, they have thesis, they have argument. The only problem, the only difference is here. Yeah, in hortatory exposition, we have recommendation, but in analytical exposition, it is reiteration. Yeah, reiteration. Yeah. This is the writer point of view about a topic discussed. Ya, ini point view, pandangan penulis tentang sesuatu yang topik yang akan didiskusikan atau digambarkan. This is called thesis. And then argument is series of argument which strengthen the thesis stated before. Yeah, the argument, it means the reasons or the proof or the evidence or the data to strengthen, untuk memperkuat the thesis stated before, thesis yang to strengthen the thesis that you mentioned before or the writer mentioned before. That is the function of arguments. Yeah, argument strengthen, memperkuat the thesis stated before. If you said this, what is the arguments? What are the proof to strengthen your thesis? That's what we call argument. And then the last, it's a recommendation. The writer give recommendation to the reader. Yeah, then you have to do this, or you should eat breakfast before you go to work, because having our body need food or need something to digest, or our body need a power or energy, yeah, before we do our activities. So that is kind of recommendation. Yeah, thesis, arguments, and recommendation. Okay, before going further, I'd like to repeat once again. Who's that? Monica, are you there, Monica? Monica, can you hear me? Monica cannot hear me? Teku, who's that? Teku Khair. Teku Khairul Amri.
What's the
Are you following me or not?
berjoin, sir?
Oh, you just joined. Okay. Cynthia, are you there, Cynthia? Cynthia, can you hear me? Cynthia, can you hear me? Okay. Cynthia, can you tell me what is the purpose of writing a hortatory exposition? Cynthia, can you hear me? Can you answer me? All right, what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Cynthia?
Bu, Cynthia. Bahasa Inggris ini, Mak. Mak kirim udah.
Can you answer me, Cynthia? What is the purpose of writing a hortatory exposition? Cynthia has gone. Okay, who can tell me? Who can help me? Volunteer, please.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Oh, Daeng. Okay, come on, Daeng.
To persuade the reader or listener that something should or should not be discussed or be done.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, to persuade. The point is to persuade reader or listener that something should or should not be the case or should not be done or should be done. Okay, right. So now I'd like to invite another students here. Anissa Pratiwi. Anissa Pratiwi. Are you there, Anissa? Anissa, are you there? Can you hear me, Anissa?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Anissa. So, what is the difference between analytical exposition and hortatory exposition?
I don't know, sir.
Hey, okay, so who can tell me what is the difference? What is the difference? Who can tell me? Daeng, can you tell me, Daeng? Can you help?
No, sir.
No, right. So if you remember, analytical expositions ended the last in the generic structure. Analytical exposition, the last is it's ended by reiteration. It means restated again, restated what, like in the beginning, right? Yeah, restated, yeah. But in what is that? In hortatory exposition, it's ended by recommendation. Diakhiri dengan rekomendasi penulis. Ya, dia diakhiri dengan rekomendasi penulis. So for example, like this one. Right here, first one. Generic structure of hortatory exposition text started with the thesis, is just similar like analytical exposition, and then followed by arguments, and then closed by recommendation. Yes, but in analytical exposition, it's started with thesis and then arguments and then reiteration. Okay, right. So next is the characteristic or the language features of hortatory exposition. The language features using simple present tense. There are several arguments that begin with firstly, secondly, and thirdly, just like in analytical exposition. And three, it contains recommendation that begins. Okay, when you write a recommendation, then your recommendation, the recommendation we're going to start with, in my opinion, or it's better, I think you should blah blah blah, I think it should be blah blah blah, or for this reason should blah 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 blah. So to write the conclusion, the recommendation, yeah, these are some phrases that you can use to start your recommendation. Okay. All right. So here is an example. Why people should exercise. Yeah. The first paragraph, it's called thesis. Yeah, thesis. In the past, I have never been inclined to participate in sport. Honestly, I didn't like it, but many reasons whom I lived with kept telling me every day how good it was. Since the peer pressure was growing, I decided to go to the gym. It wasn't until then I could really understand people when they said exercise really help a person get organized and keep yourself in healthy physically and mentally. All right, so look at the thesis here. Then we're going to find the keywords. Kira-kira keywordsnya apa di sini yang digunakan tesis di sini? Can you find the keyword, kata kuncinya, sehingga dia bisa memberikan argumen di sini? What is the keyword here? Can you? This one, yeah. They said exercise really help a person get organized and keep yourself in healthy physically and mentally. So that's why why should people do exercises, yeah? So why it help person get organized and keep yourself healthy physically and mentally? There are some arguments here. Then you have to give your argument. For starters, when you are a lazy person, it's difficult to take the first step, but it's also a matter of committing yourself to something that will provide you a lot of positive feedback. Once you start doing exercise and obviously positive result, you actually enjoy. It takes a lot of effort and a strong will, but it's worth it. Yeah, the principal thing to do is to participate in activity you like. If you do, you will start organizing your day and in a way that enable you to do everything you have to, including exercising. You will no longer be a person stressed out without time to carry on with all your activities. So this is argument 1, argument 2, and argument 3. You can read by yourself. Yeah. Thesis it started with thesis, dimulai dengan tesis di sini. Pengenalan topik atau isu yang akan dibicarakan apa. Ya. Oke, exercises, the importance of exercises, ya. Jadi isu topiknya itu the importance of exercise, ya. Kemudian, and then after that, why it is important, and then there is argument 1, argument 2, and argument 3, and then the last it's closed with the recommendation. Ya, kemudian ditutup dengan rekomendasi. Okay, so what is the example? So look at this one, the recommendation. Doing exercise is very important to any person of any age. The positive effect of exercising, which I have already mentioned, are like a change. Once you do a sports activity that you like, you get organized. Therefore, you start doing things the right way and get enormous benefit which make you feel good as the whole human being. You start living your life happily. So that is recommendation. It's mean recommend people to do this because it's very important for your life and your health. So this one is the recommendation why we have to do exercise. So again, the generic structure is thesis, argument, and recommendation. The argument can be 1 or 2 or 3. I hope you understand. Okay, now we are going to do exercise here. Here is how you have to read here. Okay, I will invite 1 or 2 of you who will read. Please read. Who will read here? Yes. Please read the text. Ada yang mau jadi volunteer? Come on. Monica? Monica, are you there? Monica? No. Cannot hear you. Monica. Who else? How many students here? 11 students. Daeng, Anissa. Who else? Okay, Daeng, can you hear me, Daeng?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please read, Daeng.
Government should not raise full price to solve the
Fuel,
problem.
yeah, fuel. You say fuel.
Fuel price
Yeah.
to solve the problem of economic issues. People were affected severely with the high fuel price like last year. Obviously, they cut their spending. As an example, they had to buy lower quality of rice or palm oil. There were also fewer buyers of secondary commodities like flour or canned meat or fish. Furthermore, the condition of income family will come even worse because their expense will increase while their salaries will not. Many companies will have to trim the
Trim,
number of
trim.
trim the number of employees because they are incapable of managing buying or selling price, standard wages, and personnel affairs. Finally, government should not raise fuel price to
Oh, sorry.
overcome economic problem, but the solution should be sought by tapping into the nation's own potential and utilizing it to enhance productivity to its maximum.
Okay, so I hope you understand. So if I can say, so government should not raise fuel price. Ya, pemerintah itu seharusnya tidak menaikkan harga bahan bakar, ya, to solve the problem of economic issues, untuk memecahkan masalah-masalah ekonomi. Ya, people were affected severely with the high fuel price like last year. Jadi orang-orang itu terpengaruh parah banget ya pengaruhnya ya dengan kenaikan apa namanya ini harga bahan bakar ini seperti tahun kemarin ya kan parah dampaknya. Obviously you say fuel not fuel but fuel itu adalah bahan bakar ya, minyak ya. Obviously dan jelas-jelas they cut their spending. Jadi orang-orang pada motong semuanya pengeluaran mereka. As an example, they had to buy lower quality of rice or palm oil. What are the example of they cut their own spending? Jadi ya mereka itu membeli beras yang kualitasnya itu lebih rendah dari sebelumnya, atau minyak goreng yang lebih rendah, minyak curah, dulunya minyaknya bagus, sekarang minyak curah ya. There were also fewer buyers of secondary commodities like flour or canned meat fish. Dan ada juga also fewer buyers, pembeli lebih sedikit ya, dengan beberapa komoditi seperti ini, seperti tepung ya, atau ikan kalengan, atau ya daging kalengan. Jadi semakin sedikit orang membeli itu ya. And furthermore, the condition of low income family will become even worse. Jadi lebih dari itu, kondisi masyarakat yang ekonomi bawah atau rendah itu dia tambah parah because the expenses will, karena pengeluaran mereka akan meningkat sementara gaji mereka nggak meningkat, tetap gitu. Pengeluaran bertambah tapi gaji tetap. Ya, many companies will have to trim the number of employees. Ya, bisa employees, not employer, but employee. Employees itu pekerja ya, pegawai. Ya, perusahaan-perusahaan pada memotong nih, pada mengurangi jumlah karyawan. Because they why? Because they are incapable of managing buying or selling price. Karena mereka nggak bisa lagi, ya nggak mampu lagi untuk manage, untuk membeli atau menjual dengan harga standar ya, standard wages and personal affairs, dan urusan-urusan pribadi ya. Finally, government should not raise fuel price to overcome economic problem. Nah, terus konklusi daripada writer di sini apa, the conclusion. Jadi seharusnya the government should not raise. Jadi pemerintah tidak boleh menaikkan, jangan menaikkan harga minyak untuk mengatasi permasalahan-permasalahan perekonomian. Tapi, but the solution should be sought by tapping into the nation own potential. Tapi coba kita lihat potensi satu negara ini, atau utilizing it to enhance productivity at maksimum, atau kita bisa meningkatkan produktivitas secara maksimum. Nah, that's supposed to be ya. Solusinya seperti itu. Jangan kalau negaranya lagi lagi turun, lagi apa namanya itu kayak ke Indonesia lagi krisis dikit-dikit minyaknya yang dinaikkan, bensinnya atau bahan bakarnya yang dinaikkan. That is not good because so many impact ya, so many thing happens ya in our life, especially those people who are in low income family. Yeah, okay, that is the point actually. Now I am having some question based on this text. Okay, are you ready to answer the question?
Ready, sir.
Okay, so the question is, so what is the best title of the text? Kira-kira teks title of the text. What is the best title of the text? Sorry. Okay, A, B, C, D, or E. The title of the text is the price of secondary commodities. Yes or no? Harga komoditas secondary.
No,
Secondary.
sir.
No. The effect of increasing fuel price.
Yes, sir.
C, condition of low income family. D, the increasing of fuel price. Naiknya harga bahan bakar. E, the economic problem, permasalahan ekonomi. Kira-kira, so which is the answer? Oh, yang mana kira-kira? B or D or E? I think the answer is
B, sir.
B. Okay. Next, number 2. Many companies will have to trim the number of employees. The word trim means, kira-kira what does it mean? Trim. I need to trim the grass. I need to trim my hair. What does it mean? Fire, what does it mean fire here? Memecat. Cut, memotong. Add, menambah. Reduce, mengurangi. Border,
Sir.
membatasi. Which one?
Cut.
Cut.
Yes, sir.
Nah, many companies will have to trim the number of employees. Banyak perusahaan yang akan memotong jumlah karyawan. Memotong atau mengurangi jumlah karyawan?
Oh, mengurangi juga bisa, sir.
Ya, mengurangi, I think mengurangi ya, mengurangi jumlah karyawan. I think D ya, reduce. 3. What is the main idea of the last paragraph? Nih, the last paragraph. Finally, the government should not raise fuel price to overcome economic problem, but the solution should be sought by tapping into the nation's own potential and utilizing it to enhance productivity to its maximum. Jadi poinnya apa kira-kira di final di paragraf terakhir ini? What is the point here? Jangan menaikkan
harga minyak.
Harga minyak untuk mengatasi permasalahan ekonomi. Tapi solusinya adalah dengan meningkatkan dan memaksimumkan produktivitas. Yes?
Yes,
Okay, so can you find here? What is the main idea of the last paragraph? Can you find it?
A, sir.
What is the answer?
A.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, the government should enhance productivity to solve the economic problem. Jadi, pemerintah itu harusnya meningkatkan produktivitas untuk memecahkan permasalahan ekonomi. Okay, right. So that is the end of our session today, and I hope you understand. So, what about other students? Are you following us or not? Are you still there or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, only I hear only dying here. Okay, well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining our class today. And then have to remind you again, please check your Schoology. And if you haven't done any of the quiz, please do it. Right? Or if your score is not sufficient enough, then you have to do it again. Yeah, do remedial. Okay. Thank
Sir.
you. That's all for today. Thank you for joining. And we close by reciting Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.